You know how your dad wants to be at the airport like 4 hours early? At this airport, you're going to agree with him. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Last year we visited San Francisco and fell hard for the city. The views, the food, the energy, we were smitten. And apparently San Francisco International Airport was watching because they invited us back. Turns out it's not just the city that's amazing, the airport is too. So we're spending a little over 24 hours here to show you what makes SFO more than just a place to catch a flight. Let's be honest. Airports don't always have the best reputation. They're often a mix of overpriced bottled water, delayed flights, and vibes that scream, hurry up and wait. But SFO? It's different. They basically took everything that makes San Francisco cool. Its art, food, and culture, and sprinkled it throughout the terminals. We spent most of our time in the brand new Harvey Milk Terminal 1, which, fun fact, now connects all terminals post-security. Translation, more food, more art, and no more awkward gate sprints. So let's get into what makes this airport a vibe. One of the first things you'll notice is that SFO feels less like an airport and more like a self-guided art tour, complete with rotating museum exhibits and permanent installations. It's basically an art gallery with boarding gates. San Francisco thrives on creativity, and SFO brings that same energy. If you like the art here, just wait until you see the murals in the Mission District or the DeYoung Museum in Golden Gate Park. And here's a fun flex. SFO is the only airport with a museum program accredited by the American Association of Museums. So we start with the Aviation Museum and Library. It's a total time capsule. It's a replica of the airport's 1930s passenger lobby, complete with an original flight schedule board from 1937. Back when flights cost $12, smoking was allowed everywhere, and legroom was actually a thing. It's more than just a museum tucked inside an airport. It's a crash course in aviation history, minus the homework. The exhibits dive into the evolution of commercial aviation and remind you that air travel used to be glamorous. I loved the vintage airline posters. There's just something about that old school travel aesthetic, when flying felt more like a luxury and less like a survival sport. Upstairs, the library is a hidden gem. It's a peaceful spot to read a book or just exist. And while my Instagram skills are questionable, for those of you who can actually frame a shot, this place is a gold mine. Vintage design and retro charm are just waiting to be hashtagged airport aesthetic. We also stumbled into the video arts room. This is a cozy little theater screening short films from thought-provoking artists and filmmakers. Also, one thing you'll definitely notice here is that it's quiet. Like, eerily quiet. That's thanks to SFO's Quiet Airport program, which reduces background noise. No relentless boarding announcements or rogue PA system beeps here. They've also got quiet gates and chill-out zones for people who, like me, require at least 3 forms of silence to function. Okay, let's talk food. Forget the usual sad airport fast food. SFO is basically a curated food tour of San Francisco, with most spots being local institutions. It's like a preview of the city. So if this is what they have at the airport, imagine what's waiting for you outside. We start with the most important meal of the day, coffee. But en route to Ritual Coffee, I was predictably derailed by the tiniest, most perfect dachshund traveler. Can I say hi to your dog? Yeah. Because let's be honest, coffee can wait. Puppies, however, cannot. Nothing like a Manhattan at 10:15 in the morning. Thank you. This is Perry's. If you know San Francisco, you know Perry's, a city staple since the 60s. It's one of those spots that's woven into the fabric of San Francisco, and here at SFO, they've managed to bottle up that classic, warm, mid-century saloon vibe, like something straight out of New York's Upper East Side, but with a Bay Area soul. We're always looking for local gems when we travel, and Perry's absolutely earns its institution status. You can feel it in the food and the service. And the stiff drinks. Among the lineup of American comfort food staples, the star of the show was definitely the French onion soup, a steaming bowl of savory, melty goodness. Thicker than you'd expect, but in a cozy, hug-in-a-bowl kind of a way. Everything you want French onion soup to be. Rich, cheesy, and deeply satisfying. We also dove into sliders and barbecue ribs. Why I wore a white shirt on this day, I'll never know. And a beet and arugula salad with goat cheese croquettes. It was everything you could want in airport food. Comfort. Look at this lunch. That looks phenomenal. Also, you came and sat down. I could not leave without getting dessert. Mama Go's is traditional, home-cooked Filipino food, and this spot is serving more than meals. It's making history. Mama Go's is actually the first Filipino restaurant in any US airport. We went for the chicken adobo, the signature dish here. And we paired that with garlic fried rice. We also tried the chicken curry. It was warm and fragrant with layers of spice that sneak up on you in the best way. Oh, and pork lumpia, golden, crunchy Filipino spring rolls that disappear alarmingly fast. You've been warned. Dessert was caracoa, deep-fried mochi balls drizzled with caramelized sugar. They were chewy, crispy, sticky, and sweet. Usually at this point in the day, it's 1:17 p.m. She said they usually don't have any of these left. So if you see them, you have to get them. Okay, so last time we were here at the airport, we sat at a bar across from Mama Go's, and it was a constant lineup, and we were kind of thinking like, must be good. Yeah, it is so worth it. If there's a lineup, wait. We also feasted on Starbird chicken, because when in the Bay Area, you have to try what some claim is the best fried chicken sandwich in town. And honestly, I think they might be onto something. One bite into their signature fried chicken, and it felt like they cracked the code. Crispy, tender, and somehow not a grease bomb. Plus, we learned their signature breading is gluten-free. But the real MVPs are the sauces. 11 different ones made fresh in-house every day. Oh, and can we talk about their salads? I know it's fried chicken, but hear me out. Their salads are shockingly good, fresh, hearty, and the perfect move when you're craving something lighter but still want to sneak in some chicken tendies. Because balance. Another thing that sets SFO apart is the shopping, and not in the here's another overpriced neck pillow kind of way. Instead of just filling the airport with the same stores you see in every terminal, looking at you, Hudson News, SFO has made a point to highlight local San Francisco brands. So even if you're just passing through, you can still take home a piece of the city. One of my favorites, San Francisco, a local brand that started as a surf film project. They've got a couple stores in the city, including one in Haight-Ashbury, a neighborhood that's basically a living postcard of San Francisco's free-spirited soul. And if you want the perfect SF merch, this is where you get it. And for book lovers, there's Green Apple Books. This indie bookstore has been an SF staple since the 60s. And if you ask any bibliophile, they'll tell you. Green Apple is sacred ground. We loved how it still felt like a cozy, get lost for hours kind of bookstore. And it wasn't just books. They've got local art, unique finds, and plenty of last-minute souvenirs. Basically, if you're leaving your heart in San Francisco, this is where you pick something up to remember it by. And although not local, Chris couldn't resist snapping a photo with the life-size Lego pilot because, like puppies, photo ops and childhood nostalgia wait for no one. Are you ready to meet the WAG Brigade? Okay, traveling can be stressful, but what if I told you there are dogs and bunnies? SFO has a whole entourage of therapy animals called the WAG Brigade. They roam around the terminals, providing emotional support in the form of fluff. And yes, the squad even includes a 30-pound giant Flemish rabbit named Alex, who also provides autographs and drives his own car. If SFO handed out frequent flyer miles for every pet, I'd be platinum by now. More proof that San Francisco's quirky charm starts even before you leave the airport. I just love how happy everyone is when Alex comes through. Like, everybody just stops in their tracks and starts smiling and giggling, and you can just see how much happier everybody is. How many airports let you step outside, breathe actual air, and watch planes take off? SFO's observation deck offers just that, when the weather cooperates. Of course, during our visit, it was peak inclement weather, because the Bay Area loves a little irony. Big planes, big skies, and big raindrops. But hey, Foggy runway views are practically a San Francisco souvenir. On this day, they actually brought us out onto the airfield to get a really up-close look at some of the planes taking off. This isn't a perk that you'll get when you fly through SFO, but we thought it was pretty cool to include. It's a reminder that the city's epic views, like Twin Peaks, Coit Tower, and Battery Spencer, often come with a side of mood swings from Mother Nature. Or Carl the Fog. Airports can be overwhelming, so I think the most thoughtful place in all of SFO is the sensory room. It was designed especially for neurodivergent travelers and their families. It's a space that says, hey, let's make air travel a little less chaotic. First, there's the interactive quantum area, part analog, part digital, and fully ready to keep hands busy and minds chill. As I watched Chris go full 8-year-old, think of it as the airport's answer to a fidget spinner, but make it chic. Next up is the calming area, a soft-lit, cozy corner perfect for zoning out or manifesting your flight arriving on time. But the star of the show? The cabin experience. I was really excited for this. It's a life-size airplane mock-up where travelers can rehearse their pre-flight jitters. You can practice finding your seat, stowing your carry-on, buckling up, click, and all those important pre-flight rituals without ever leaving the ground.
Finally, enough legroom.
There are even yoga rooms located in all 3 terminals because sometimes when it comes to air travel, the only thing between you and a complete meltdown is a solid child's pose. Yoga mats are available, no sleeping allowed however, but an extended shavasana might pass. If you want to take things up a notch, SFO has some seriously impressive lounges. One of the newest is The Club, a swanky airport lounge designed to evoke a trip to the Redwoods. It's open daily to all passengers, no matter what airline you're flying on, and it's included in Priority Pass or Lounge Key memberships. I love a good lounge with lots of options for cozy seating. So this floor by the fireplace is actually heated. So come, take a seat, take your shoes off, and make fists with your toes. It's got light therapy rooms, yoga spaces, and a whole mood. Picture a Northern California retreat, but with free Wi-Fi. That's real moss. Okay, so on the opposite side of the moss wall, we have the Lululemon studio here, where you can do yoga. There's yoga mats available. We've got cucumber water, towels, and moss. And of course, the food is actually good. They use fresh, locally sourced ingredients, so you can sample some Bay Area flavors without ever leaving the airport. Also, showers, they're $25 for 30 minutes. If you've ever had a long layover, you know this is totally worth it. We were lucky enough to fly Air Canada on this trip, which meant we had access to the Maple Leaf Lounge, a brand new addition to SFO that opened in 2023. Honestly, it's stunning. The first thing you'll notice is how serene it is. It's like if a luxury hotel lobby in a first-class cabin had a baby. There's a variety of seating for all your pre-flight moods, plus an expansive outdoor terrace with panoramic views of the runway and the ATC tower, which absolutely towered over us like some kind of aviation overlord. It makes for some cool shots. They even have those iconic red Muskoka chairs straight out of every Canadian national park, like a little slice of home. But the real standout was the bar, which felt more like an exclusive martini lounge. Ironically, we only ordered beer, but hey, it was a classy beer. We found this place called Freshen Up. They have showers and nap rooms. Turns out Freshen Up isn't just a clever name. Missed your flight? Got a layover longer than your last relationship? This place has you covered. Open 24/7, it's ready to wrap you in a cocoon of calm with a hot shower or a power nap, or both. So, with all the amazing things SFO has to offer, we started to wonder, what if you just never left? Enter the Grand Hyatt at SFO. And listen, when you hear airport hotel, you probably think fluorescent lights, sad carpet, a vending machine dinner, and a lingering smell of microwave burritos. But this is not that. No. This is a 5-star, full-blown luxury hotel that just so happens to be attached to the airport. It has runway views, direct access to the terminals via the air train, which honestly feels like some kind of VIP airport hack, and a level of comfort that almost makes you forget you're technically still at the airport. The rooms are ultra sleek, the windows are massive, floor to ceiling, and if you're the kind of person who enjoys watching planes take off like it's a high-stakes action movie, you'll have a front row seat at your own IMAX theater here. Oh, there's Chris.
There's planes to look at.
Good morning from the Grand Hyatt at SFO. I feel like if you have the chance to stay here overnight before your flight, this is probably the most stress-free way to start your trip. And then there's the food. Quail and Crane is the venue of choice, and for an airport hotel restaurant, at first, the food here is suspiciously good. But then I remember, right, we're in San Francisco. Of course the airport hotel food is going to be elite. We were lucky enough to enjoy 2 fantastic dinners here. Here were some of the highlights. The smoky tuna poke was silky, flavorful, with just the right balance of salt and umami. The avocado added creaminess, and I felt like I was eating something that belonged in a downtown San Francisco restaurant, not, an airport. We loved the crab cakes, tons of meat, no filler there. The pork belly bao, the ultra soft buns, the crispy rich pork belly, an experience. And our next night, we had a full sushi spread. Fresh, expertly prepared, and just another reminder that this place is way too good to be an airport hotel. And if that's not enough, there's also a lounge with dangerously drinkable cocktails, a market for grab-and-go snacks and other goods that's open 24/7, as well as room service. So you can feast in bed while watching planes taxi around like some kind of air traffic control prodigy, which, let's be honest, you will probably become. But here's the plot twist, though. This isn't just a great airport hotel. It's actually a solid option for exploring the entire Bay Area. Because thanks to BART, San Francisco's transit system, you can hop on a train from SFO and be in the heart of the city in 30 minutes. No expensive Ubers or Waymos, no rental cars, and no sitting in Bay Area traffic questioning your life choices. You can spend the day eating your way through Chinatown, sipping a perfect cappuccino in North Beach, or humbly hiking up one of San Francisco's many hills, then just as effortlessly head back to this quiet, luxurious, soundproofed hotel and actually get a good night's sleep. So if you've got a layover, an early flight, or you just want to lean into the whole SFO experience, this might be the move. That's going to be all for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed the tour. Huge thank you to SFO for bringing us here and letting us do this. We'll see you guys in the next one.